Thank you, Mama T and the Marks, for singing us in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's me, Bobby Sampson, joined with my man, the king
Professor.
of the jungle, the master of the forest. Fuck you, Smokey the Bear. Fuck you, all of the bears. And you know, there's one bear that I think you really need to kick the ass of is Franklin the Bear. Because Franklin the Bear to me is the Caillou of the forest. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Bear.
Thank you, thank you. I would, but I had he reminds me of Arthur, and my son used to love Arthur, so that's why I'm giving him a pass.
Is it Franklin the Bear or Franklin the Turtle? Sorry. I mean, either way,
No,
they're
no,
in the same show.
yeah, I think it's Franklin the Bear.
Okay. Okay.
He's he's not important enough to worry about.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, out of all the bear families in the world, I mean, they really put a bad light on the bears. You know what I mean? You got Yogi Bear. Out of all, and the most realistic bear family out there is probably the Bernstein Bears. Um, but even then, you just want to see that Papa Bear like throw down and get angry. You know what I mean? Like it
Some
just I feel like
somebody's
I feel like the Mama Bear on that show, they got her doped up, man. Like honestly, you just look at her demeanor and just the way she acts. It looks like she's on something. Am I right or wrong? Like I don't know. Call me out on that. I know we're a
well.
wrestling show, but we're breaking down bear life.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, let somebody break in the house, and I think you'll see the true Papa Bear come out.
Let's see it. Let's see it. So I've been telling people that you and I came from different sacks, but brother, I always got your back. Uh, I do like that one, man.
Uh, Actually, that one is I like that. I'm probably going to end up using that more often.
Yeah, man. Everybody, remember, we came from different sacks, but we have each other's back.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So, that all being said, I don't know if this is a segue or not, but breaking news from yesterday, Janelle Grant, Vince McMahon going into arbitration. She's dropping the charges. And this is going to be now settled outside of court, which basically, by the look on your face, you did not know that.
I did not.
And I told you I was going to catch you with something that was going to be a little different and outside of the box of what we're trying to actually do here on the show. That being said, so that means that Janelle Grant in the next 5 days is going to drop all charges against McMahon and the WWE and anyone else that she's got charges against, and they're going to settle this in arbitration. My first question to you, Bear, now that it's just fresh in your head, and I'd love to get your initial reaction to it. This is not a wrestling question. This has nothing to do with wrestling. This has to do with women. What Janelle Grant is doing right now, does that make it hard for women who've actually been done wrong in these kind of situations to have a viable case going forward? Because you just basically wasted 2 years of people's money, time, and energy if that's the case. Now, Bear, before I give you the mic here, I'm just going to say this very honestly. I don't condone what happened. I don't, necessarily prescribe to those kind of actions. But let's be completely honest. She was completely consensual, which is why this hasn't blown up as much as it potentially could have. She was a willing party in all of the things that took place. She may not have liked it, but she agreed to it. She was down with it. She accepted the monies. Danhausen. She did everything that she was supposed to do, and the minute that check didn't come, all this happens.
So I'm going to start off with saying this. Yes, I think in a way it hurts women when they make a claim because a lot of times when women make claims, a lot of times they don't follow through with it. And and I'm not blaming women who go through this, but in the sense of it's already hard enough when people make claims, whether they're lying or truthful about it, because it not only affects them, it affects the person they're claiming against, it affects their family, it affects way people look at that person, looks at the victim, the so-called victim. All of it is real messy. So that's the first thing. The second thing for me is I'm not going to, because it's very easy to judge. We all do it. We all human. We all have an opinion about things. I think that it was more of it happened and they came up with a number that was satisfying to her. Sometimes I will use the Ted DiBiase mantra of that.
Everybody
Everybody
has.
has a price. Everybody has a price. Um, then you sit and think about all the people that were accused, wrecked their lives, and turned out it was a lie. The damage it was done to them that they can't get back because no matter whether you're innocent or guilty, people look at you in a whole different light.
We call that stigmatisms.
People will hold that against you, even though you didn't do anything wrong. Someone told a lie on you. That lie is more powerful than the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it like that. Then I look at Vince McMahon as a person, not the character, not the WWE chairman. I look at him as a man, and his demeanor as a man is I can do what I want to do. Now, I don't know Vince personally. Nobody, we don't. Never claim to. But the and we say this all the time, when you have a character, it's you amped up to the 1,000%. So some of the things that Vince have had wanted to do on TV and character, like he wanted to have the notion that he had his daughter pregnant. What kind of rational human being would go with that? Even if it you would demean yourself, your family for money, and I could go down the road of him wanting to wrestle with God and all that other stuff. But this is what I'll say about the whole situation. It is what Vince was hoping for because now he can do what he wants to do, which is get back into wrestling. You know, the sport of wrestling is something else. You can do some of the most heinous things and still come back from it.
Yeah.
Unless you commit a murder as wicked as Chris Benoit, or you can been proved to be sexually assaulting children. Anything else you can damn near come back from. I know wrestlers who have beaten their partners and still made it
Yeah.
in this
No,
business.
no, I get it. And but I think that goes for any genre of life, any kind of work employment. I mean, it is what it is. Um, okay, so that's that side of it. Here's the other side. Does Vince come back now? Is that door open for him again? Because let's keep in mind, I think Ari buying WWE, the whole notion in place was that Vince is there, he'll oversee it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't need to get involved. Okay. And the reason he's not involved in UFC as he is in WWE, because he's got his Vince McMahon already there in Dana White. Now, I'm not saying does Vince come back as chairman of the board or does Vince come back as someone in Gorilla again.
I say Vince is not going to come back to TKO, because even still, if Vince came back, he's still a liability that that company can afford to have. I say that Vince will get the backers and try to buy WWE back.
Mm.
That's the way I see it.
Well,
I,
something I've been
I
predicting for this year.
yes, and that's the thing that I just don't see in any logical form how Vince coming back under TKO saves WWE,
I,
because they're still not going to let him do Vince things.
yeah, I kind of see it like this. I think Turkey Al Sheikh, who's the big guy in Saudi Arabia right now, doing all the boxing and everything else, and he is behind WrestleMania coming to Saudi Arabia. He is behind a lot of the things that are happening. I think Sella and McMahon are going to figure something out here. I do believe that by the end of this year, he will be back in power, and I think he takes the company private.
Um, if he doesn't, I will be shocked.
Well, I mean, he's got his hands in other things as well, so maybe he comes out with something completely different as well that no one's even thinking about, right? Like, I mean, he's got the Undertaker, he's got John Cena. These people love him regardless of everything. They look past all those aggressions and things like that, and they see him as who he is. The guy that made him, that made
Right.
them. Okay, but that all being said and done, let's get into the wrestling, man. Let's talk about what we love. Now, last night on Raw, I turned it on. I'm watching Raw, and the first two things that stuck in my head right off the bat, out of everything that I saw, couldn't they make Rusev look a bit more dominating instead of that little bunny hop that he does with fireworks? Like, seriously, that was the saddest looking thing I've seen. And I've noticed it for a while. Like, it just kind of like a little bloop. That doesn't deserve fireworks or explosions. Like, that doesn't make me think that you're a menacing man. Like, you do a little bunny hop, like, well, you might as well just do this and jump, right? Sorry, do you see it? Do you see what I'm seeing now?
No, no, I definitely get it.
And number two, Chad Gable's new music. Isn't that straight out of WCW 92, 93? Isn't that like seriously WCW
No,
intro music?
I'm laughing because I thought it was just me.
No, it's
and,
total
and see,
1990.
you can tell that they are struggling with their music. They've been struggling for quite a while, but I thought to myself, I like, well, hell, next thing you know, they're gonna throw a little cape on them and come up with a stupid ass name for them.
But right, like he totally has the 80s music, like that 80s intro music. Well, I'm a
Yeah,
bad man. Like that's like that real southern Alabama kind of, I don't know what to describe it as, man. But I mean, that's WCW Atlanta rock
yeah,
music, right? Like, I mean,
yeah. With, as far as Rusev is concerned, they killed him right off the bat when they left him sitting in catering.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think the best thing to happen to Rusev right now is Ethan Page.
It would be if it wasn't so blatant that they ain't gonna do anything with him.
Well, let's
It,
find out.
and the reason why I say that is they have made him a puppet,
Which one?
and they made him Ethan Page puppet,
Yeah.
and he I don't like the slow wit of Rusev that they've come up with. I like this cerebral talking to God, that type of Rusev. I thought that was a great character but they did nothing with it. And again, there's I understand there's a ton of different wrestlers. There's only so much time you can do with certain wrestlers. But if it wasn't for Ethan Page, nobody would even realize Rusev is still wrestling.
Which is why I said that Rusev, the best thing to happen for Rusev is being put with Ethan Page. I mean, you got the cerebral guy in Ethan Page. He can kind of have him there as his secondary until Rusev gets angry and turns on him. And then he can relaunch Rusev Day. I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at Rusev, he's got all the potential in the world, right? He's a great wrestler. He's got the look. He's menacing. I mean, he's being dominant right now, in terms of who he is and what he's doing with Ethan Page. The question is how long does that last? But like I said, right now, the best thing for both these guys, because honestly, Ethan Page would be lost without him too, in my opinion. Ethan Page needs to have someone with him, I feel like, in a certain extent. Like, he doesn't do well by himself. The character doesn't work by himself.
I
That's just
think
my observation.
I think one of the problems is, again, this goes back to the way you use people. They fired Chad up so hot in AAA that now it's like we don't have a choice. If we don't use him, we're going to lose people. He's going to let's face it. He is winning the Intercontinental title. He's going to win now for Penta.
That's fine. And I have no problem with that.
No,
He deserves it.
I think that what they need to do, let him win, get Penta or Ray Phoenix. I don't care which brand they throw them on. Put them together and let them go as a tag team. Jesus,
Well,
you
maybe
already know.
maybe that's the path and direction that we're looking at here in the future. Also, I wanted to talk about this as well as staying in the vein of Chad Gable. Isn't it interesting with everything that's happening with Alpha Academy that he hasn't gone out there to save Otis yet?
I was thinking that too, but I think it's going to be. I think they're going to try to do it on a big stage and make it mean something. That's what I think they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Hold it off to
Well,
try
maybe
to make
maybe
it mean more.
maybe put the strap on him, give him a bit more of that kind of rub, and then he comes out to help those two guys out, right? Because I mean, I'll be honest, like, when I see what Maxine Dupri's doing right now, and I look at it, I put it in this vein, okay? And we're a PG show, but sometimes I am the Samp. It reminds me of the best way I can describe this is like this, okay? In the 80s, it was really, really rare to see, good stuff on TV. I'll put it that way. But when we did, it was a shock. It was like, oh, right? Like, oh my God. When I see bad ladies like in wrestling, like evil, heels, I still get that, like, oh my God, how can he be so mean? Like, I've seen dudes do some horrible, horrible stuff, but it still makes me feel sad when I see a girl become that mean, right? Tekla is one that got that emotion out of me when she went after Starlight Kid or girl or whatever she is, right? Like, I mean, I'm just watching that, like, how can you be so mean, right? And then I'm looking at what Maxine is doing, and I know it's character work and stuff, but to see a mean girl like that, it's kind of like seeing Titty on a Saturday night on the French channel, right?
So I get it. With Maxine in particular, they have made me not care about her. And the reason,
I hate her character, anyways. She's done such a good job.
well, yes, but they've deflated her so much. Again, sometimes when you're doing different arcs with people, it needs to be a slow change. And with Maxine, she turned into this super badass who was just serious and rah. And then she easily gets manipulated, and then she's this mean girl. And it was like, to me, it's like,
But if you look at that character arc there, Bear, for a second here, sorry to interrupt you. If you just look
Yeah,
at the arc a little bit, if you think about it, just look at what she's gone through. Okay. She was the character was, and I'm talking about the character, okay, just the character work. Okay, we're looking at a character that was kind of poo-pooed on, kayfabe wise, like, oh, you're just, another cheerleader, blah, blah, blah. Then she tries and she's completely useless. Okay, when she first started, I think spending time with Chad Gable, working with him, honing her craft with him, working with Natalia has made her so much better than she has been in the last 3-4 years. And then you got that character arc of okay, she became Intercontinental Champion. People still didn't take her seriously. Okay, she's working with Natty. She's in the dungeon. And they dropped that story really, really fast. They didn't really give it any time, and she failed again. Natalia destroyed her. So here's a girl who, in a mental state of mind, like I can't seem to gain traction anywhere. Fast forward to the vignettes into the back where Austin and her now chatting in behind the other segments that are taking place, right?
right.
And now you have this evolved character who we are seeing today.
And I guess that's what bugs me
Okay.
because where she failed with Natty, we didn't see we didn't see a Laura like between Laura
Well,
and
Natty kicked
Bailey.
her ass.
Right, right. And you didn't hear anything about her. She just kind of disappeared
Yeah.
and went back to just being in catering with the Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Then you start seeing the theory thing, and I'm like, oh, she turning heel, Jesus. Okay, and generally I don't mind that. Again, I understand character work and stuff, but it just I think I feel it incomplete because they didn't show the demise of the character where it was so low where it was easy for Theory to come in and snatch her. That yeah, they showed the vignettes, but we don't know what he said to her. That's why I was like, I see it coming. I know it's coming, but why?
Well, I
If
think they
I
needed it. I think it was also done for Theory because they needed to figure this guy out. They needed to do something with him,
right,
because
no,
I mean, from one week he's a complete savage. The next week he looks like a bumbling kid again, like, oh, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just what are you doing with him too? I think the addition of her with that little crew right now makes it more viable than it was with Heyman, than it was with Seth. I just feel like they have something there now.
I think I I agree with you where it feels more solid, but you already know what's going to happen with that group.
That happens with every group, though, Bear.
Well, yeah, but I think where again, when I see it just so obvious, and with Braun Breaker, he as soon as he can, he gets any kind of inkling, he's gone.
And I'm telling you, that's the way it is. Like, I mean, every story that we watch in wrestling, like, the best way to describe it, a story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, right?
And and I guess that's my problem with Maxine
Hmm.
because I'm missing the middle.
Well, we haven't seen the
I'm
middle yet.
but how did we get from the beginning to where we're at now?
Well, because we're still kind of formulating and putting them all together. I think once Logan gets that brace off, he's cleared to go. I think that's when the story starts to pick up. Right now, it's just a holding pattern. I think we're just going to get this, more and more evil stuff happening, more and more advantage taking, more and more of the vision, winning these little scrimmages and stuff, and like fans becoming, oh man, come on, how long are we going to watch these guys beat everyone up before they get their own, right? We see a little moment here and there, like last night on Raw, Otis got an inch on them, but was quickly dragged down 4. you know,
Yeah.
with them standing over top of them. I think the key here is Logan coming back. I think the key happens is when they lose that tag team title, and then we see Braun separate himself from these guys. And
And
this is where we're going to go. Logan and Theory are better suited together than anyone else. Those three need each other more than Braun. Braun is just there waiting for the opportunity.
what happens when Bronson come back too?
Well, but that all depends. Where does Bronson fit in if he does at all? The longer he's
That that
away,
that's my point.
right? So maybe he's the catalyst to turn it all around. Maybe because if you think about it, if you break up the vision, honestly, it's those three. Then it's Brock, or Braun and the big guy,
Yeah,
the
Bronson.
Bronson Reed, right? The Bronze. It was
Right.
always them.
Exactly.
The comedic fluff in that crew was Theory and Logan. I hate to put Logan in that thing because Logan's really impressed me. He's done great work. The stuff he's
But
doing with Tom Brady is absolutely phenomenal. Taking a slap from Tom Brady at Fanatics. Did you see that?
yeah,
And then they're fingering each other in the stands at the World Cup final. So,
yeah.
Logan is another guy that's standalone. He doesn't really need a crew,
No, you're right.
right? He can go on his own and do his thing. If anything, Logan is there to help these guys.
And yeah.
Fair? I mean, that's just my opinion. Like
No, you're right. And with Theory, that's why they gave him oh, I can't even think her name
Grayson
now.
Waller.
Yeah, that's why, because Theory just has an issue. The fans just don't see him as a single star.
I
And
think
that's
it's the
why
way
they
he's
gave
presenting himself.
Maxine.
Yeah.
So when they break up, he still has someone to help.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I think the problem with Theory and in terms of his character, he's unlikable in some ways because of just the way he is. He's just that childish guy and this and that. Like, I mean, he needs to refine the character. He needs to evolve into who he actually is, right? Like, we didn't get the real John Cena until a few renditions of this, and this to take
Right.
place to get to where we are. And I feel the same with Theory. I think Theory has the capability and the platform to become something massive here. It's just he needs to find his niche. And this is the thing. You can keep putting people on TV. You can't blame the company for someone not getting over if you're giving them opportunity after opportunity, right? AKA Rusev. Like, how many times are you going to put him on TV? If it's not clicking, it's not clicking. I'm sorry.
Oh
Now,
no, I
now,
agree.
now they're bringing back Big Cass and the redemption story there. He's hard to work with, and they're really breaking down the fourth wall with this guy because I mean
Yeah,
that's
they
the
are.
one thing I'm noticing in wrestling. The reality based side of it's starting to formulate into the storylines more and more and more, right? Like
Yeah,
unbeknown to people, this guy's coming back what on the third,
third,
the 1st August of Raw,
right.
right? So he's coming back. Does that mean they're going to open the door to Enzo, right? Like, I mean, they're playing off a redemption story. They're playing off of, he was hard to work with. He was an alcoholic. So let's see what they do with him.
Yeah. I the one thing that we missed not being able to record is I've been waiting to talk about Seth and Roman.
Okay.
I I am a person that I get it that sometimes you see the same matches, it's just boring, it gets old, you're not really into it. But damn what LA Knight saying. I'm personally enjoying this evolution of Seth and Roman. I think they're doing tremendous work. I think the crowd is tearing the crowd apart because one minute they're cheering like hell for Seth, next minute they booing him. The same with Roman, not as much with Roman, but still there's splatters of it. I think the when they signed the contract, I loved it. I loved the brilliance of it. I love that they let Roman go and he went down that road of self getting hurt. He can't be number one. Um, the perfect line for me is your work daddy is damn near running the place. I popped big time for that.
No,
So
100%, dude.
I,
And yeah.
I've enjoyed it, and I am looking so forward to this match now.
Hey, and as am I have no problem with what they've done. I think both guys have been absolutely phenomenal on the mic. If I had to pick who's winning right now, I'd have to say Roman. And again, Roman Reigns, another guy everyone shit on over and over and over again for years and years and years. Until John Cena took him to task in front of 80,000 people and the worldwide broadcasting audience. Did only Roman get better then?
Yeah,
Right? Let's call it the way it is. Look, we've seen this fight before. Yes, yes, yes. But you know what? Here's the thing: Roman has never beaten him. That's the story. Roman has never beaten him. Okay. Might have been in tag team matches, might have been here, but I love the way that they're intertwining all of the bloodline, past, present, and future into the storyline. Like, geez, we're talking about Roman and Seth, but we're also talking about Jacob Fatu and the Uso twins and Royce Keys and LA Knight and Solo Sokoa. The only thing missing here is Zilla Fatu. And I have a suspicious feeling Zilla is going to be the reason that Roman Reigns wins his first match against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
I don't honestly, I don't think it will be. I think they have made it so personal and built it up so much that Roman knows he can't have interference to beat Seth. He needs this on his own. That's why he told Jacob not to touch him.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And and this is going to make his legacy because like Seth said, you done beat everybody, but you ain't beat me. And no matter what Roman has done, look how frustrating he gets when he has to deal with Seth. Just like when they had their match, Royal Rumble, he snapped instead of staying focused. He took the DQ because Seth just is that one person that knows how to get under his skin.
And they're doing a great
But
job of it. Like, I mean, there's just it's just that cadence of them being together for so long and working together,
right,
right? Like I almost feel remiss that John Moxley isn't involved in this in some way.
man.
You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? Like
I wish they would look. They don't have look. AEW and WWE does not have to work together. But man, just for these little incidents, they should be like, okay, we'll let him at least do an interview or
yeah,
say something.
no, 100%. When I look at that match, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it, but then again, that's just me being who I am. I can understand a lot of people upset about it, don't like it, this and that. But people are missing. Like, this is the thing that we're trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to bring the storylines back into wrestling, something that I believe, dare I say, a lost art form.
It almost feels
Right?
like it.
Like, most people are more focused on what we said at the beginning of the show than anything else that we're talking about right now, which is
Yeah,
the show, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the show. The show, without the show, none of this other shit matters.
exactly.
Now, here's something I thought that you were going to mention because we did miss last week. Baron Corbin's back.
Yay. Well, look, I say it like this, and that's no disrespect to Baron. I think he's a great wrestler. He's done some amazing work outside of WWE, and that's the thing too. a lot of wrestlers, when they get released, they fall into that I don't care mentality. Then you have some Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, where they're like, I'm gonna show you.
Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, gender. I'm gonna show you you effed up. Why you should have kept me, and I'm gonna be greater outside of here, where you're gonna come to me, and it's happened.
Yeah, yeah. But Barrett's path was a little different. He didn't really, take over the indie scenes. He didn't really take over, the king moniker, kind of like Cody and Matt Cardona did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
His journey was a little different. He was promoting drinks. He was promoting cooking. He went on to do jujitsu tournaments and things like that.
he was doing solid work though.
Well, that's what I
That's the
mean. He
thing.
was a different approach to it, right?
Yes, yes.
And honestly, watching him throw punches, it's like, wow, that's a good looking punch.
I mean, him and oh my god, I can't think of his tag team partner MLW as the skyscrapers. Oh my god, they were doing some amazing work. And again, I understand why they brought them back. Honestly, I don't expect much from them though. And not trying to be disrespectful. I just I see him being another Matt Cardona.
Well, and let's bring that up. Let's talk about that very quickly. We got Matt Cardona, we got Joe Henry, we got Matt Cardona, Joe Henry. Let's just work with those two guys right now, okay?
Okay.
So much fanfare, so much. Oh my God, they're here. They're finally here. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry, man. Joe Henry needed Downhausen to provide outside interference for him to win. Like if he's not losing, this is how he's winning. You got Matt Cardona. What's he on a 15 match losing streak now? Like like why? If I'm those guys, I'm thinking to myself, why would I even come here?
Yeah,
Why are we missing something?
all the hard work I did on the independent scene, making myself just damn near untouchable, overly loved. I could go anywhere on the indie scenes, draw money, and have that status to come. For Matt Cardona is coming back. For Joe Hendry is just making it, and to get relegated to the both of them been relegated to Danhausen, to be truthful.
Well, look, when you leave the WWE, and Matt Cardona said it, I think best, you realize what everyone else is doing wrong in terms of production, in terms of merchandising, in terms of selling yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think when you leave the WWE or AEW or any major promotion and you come back to the local scenes, okay? When you come back, and I don't say this with any disrespect, when you come back to the armories, when you come back to the bingo halls, when you come back to the gymnasiums of indie wrestling, which is where a lot of these guys are, okay?
Right.
You are now a fucking blue whale in a pond, and you're going to get that rub, you're going to get that attention. But as soon as you go back to the ocean, you basically are showing people that you're showing people why it didn't work the first time around. We could throw Rusev in there as well. Like, how many opportunities are you going to keep giving guys? Right?
I,
Like, outside of the Cody, the Drew, and the Jinders, the rest of them have come back and just flip flopped again.
and it and I hate to go this way because we all could go with this argument, and the argument is used so much, but man, when you're the writing, the writing sucks.
No,
I
no, I
mean,
get that completely, but it's your
and,
job
and,
to execute, though.
right. Well, again, yes, it's your job to execute. But if you're executing getting beat week after week after week, I mean, what can you do? I
Well,
could be the
this is
best
yeah,
I
I
could be
mean,
the best loser that they have. But
yeah.
if they see nothing in me to like, hey, let's move him, and again, I get it. There's only so many spots. There's so many things going. Chad, look what Chad had to do to get back to where he's at now. Chad has never won a singles title in WWE. I don't count that speed bullshit. He's never won a singles title. He had to go down to Mexico, have a mask on, put on a phenomenal match to get some credibility back
True,
into.
true. But did Chad have to get injured in order for that to happen? Because if he didn't get injured, would any of this
Where
have
would it be?
happened?
Yeah, because what you call it wouldn't have picked up the mask.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? So all these things have to happen in place. And when you look at Chad Gable, he's an anomaly because he's probably one of the purest wrestlers out there, in my opinion, in terms of ability, in terms of what he's able to do and what not. I mean, he is, I'll
He's
say
a
it, I'll argue it, that he is this generation's Kurt Angle,
Oh yeah, easily.
and
I think, and honestly, I think he has a bigger upside than Kurt. To be honest with you,
well, yeah, he does. And now he's finally found his groove. It's not like he hasn't had the groove. He's been there. He's been doing all this stuff. The thank you. Like, I mean, he's self-created himself.
AEW wanted him badly. They
Oh,
didn't want him
absolutely.
to resign
Yeah.
before Cody came back. He was scouting them big time.
Yeah. No, no,
But
and yeah.
I guess my whole point of all of that is to say this: no matter what you decide to do, you're taking a chance. Whether you decide to go under the WWE umbrella or stay on the indies,
Yeah.
you just have to play the cards you're dealt, and play them the best you can.
Yeah.
Again, I love Rusev. Yeah, he was more creative in AEW. They gave him a better platform to be creative, but
He
the
still dropped the
wrestling
ball.
the wrestling wasn't there. And I don't know if it was the backstage issues. I don't know why. Of course, we blame Tony Khan because he's the boss. He's right. I mean, he sets the thing. So, but you see him back in WWE, and it's like, man, what happened to that guy? He's not that guy. They're still not letting him be the guy that we all know he could be.
Okay, but we did see the guy. We had the guy, but what did he do with it?
They didn't push it. They didn't. That again, you can put all your energy there. You can be a breakout thing. But if the company doesn't get behind you, it doesn't matter. How
You
many
know what though, Bear? I think Rusev had the company behind him. They had Rusev Day going. They had all these things happening. Like he was picking up momentum fast, man. That Rusev Day shirt was selling more than anything at the time. Like, okay, so where's the fault here? Like, who dropped the ball on that then? Is it
so
Rusev? Is it the writers?
it's the writers because look, well, the way I see it, Rusev Day wasn't a WWE thing. It was
Hmm.
a natural fan built thing.
Well, it's very similar to the
To that, to
yeah. Yes, yes,
Zack,
yes, movement.
Zack Ryder, the same thing. They didn't have anything planned for him. The fans just happened to fall for him, enjoy him, embrace him, and the WWE was like, okay, let's give him a
You know,
shot.
the one when I look at Zach Ryder, Matt Cardona, the one thing I will say about him, and I'm going to use an hockey analogy here. Okay, he did something that Martin Brodeur, the former goaltender for the New Jersey Devils, did. He made them change the rules
Yeah.
in how you handle the puck because he was so good at handling the puck that they made a little hexagon behind the net saying that's the only place a goalie can handle the puck. Okay. You look at what Rusev and Daniel Bryan did, and Zack Ryder more so. Okay. He fucked everyone else over because he went on his own and he started promoting himself on YouTube. He started promoting himself everywhere. I'm like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. You're doing a better job than we are. You can't do that anymore. And that's when they
Exactly.
started pulling all their stars from different things. A very, very
Exactly.
different WWE now, whereas they don't ask permission anymore. You just tell them, hey, I'm going to go film this movie. Right? You look at
Right.
senior and junior, junior more so was willing, but senior was never allowing any of this kind of stuff to happen. In fact, Hulk Hogan got fired from WWE at the time because he went to do Rocky,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So, it just shows you how much time has changed. But all that being said, like does Joe Henry, because when I watch wrestling, it's like this, okay? If we're watching a 2 hour show, it's like any soap opera. There's not just one story going on. There's 4, 5, 6, 7 different stories going on at the same time. Main
Right.
event story, your main story, and then you got all your your middle stories, and then you got your low lying fruit stories, right?
Right.
Just kind of there's
Dan.
enough there. And that's the one thing I've been saying recently about SmackDown. I love the storytelling at all the levels because everyone's getting their story in, right?
Right.
I don't see that so much on Raw. I see Raw to be more of a show just put together of clips, this and that, with minimal stories being told, except at the highest level. They're more focused on that. And I'm starting to notice as well that maybe this brand split is officially over because we're getting a lot more crossover now with SmackDown guys coming over. And I don't know if that has to do because of the bloodline story or whatnot, but a lot of this, I like where we're going. I really do. I'm okay with everything right now. I don't have a problem with the WWE. I really don't.
I
And
I
maybe I'm
just
just put up the white flag and I said, fuck it. I'm just going to watch wrestling like I used to.
I I I would love to if they would be just consistent. Their consistency bugs me because I don't know from day to day what I'm getting. And it's fun, and I laugh at myself too because the same way I say that about WWE, I see how people say it about AEW, and rightly so because they don't follow it like I follow it.
Okay.
It,
Yeah.
and so I see everybody's points of view, but like you, it's to the point of like, okay, okay, I'm done. It as long as if I'm okay with it, I'm watching it. It's what it is.
Well,
I'm not
look,
I'm not diving off the cliff of
life, life,
the
life to me.
separation, the tribalism. I'm just done with that.
Well, look,
It's
and I
silly.
think, you and I both are in the same boat because, look, at the end of the day, what I would say is an amazing movie doesn't necessarily have to translate to other people, right? Like
Exactly.
we live in a world, man, where as in touch as we think we are, we're not in touch as we were when we were the young kids and stuff like that. There's a lot of shit that I don't get that makes
Right.
no sense to me. Okay. Like what's 6 7? What is that? Like it makes no sense to me. But Bear, I was also that guy that sat around saying, "What's that?" Right? Like, I mean,
Right.
so each generation has their own flow. We're just at that age right now where we're looking at the young blood, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Right?
Eh,
The movies I like, the movies you like are completely different. It doesn't mean they're bad movies.
Right.
It's
Right.
personal preference. Now, when I look at AEW, I'm glad you brought that up. I feel when I look at AEW in 2026, okay, they should be so much further ahead as a company, as an organization, and as a company that matters and I don't mean that in a bad way. AEW matters, but I feel they could be so much bigger than they are right now. They have the talent pool. There's no shortage of opportunities with cable deals. You know, when you own European entities, when you own NFL, I mean, shit, you're sitting in the room that has the most pie for everyone. In fact, they have so much pie in that NFL room that it's just not enough to go around for everyone. There's too much to go around. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can take baseball, MLB, you can take NHL and NBA, put them all in the same room, and they still don't have as much pie as the NFL. So when you have a controlling entity in that realm, you have Fulham in the UK and what other sports entities that family has, I'd expect them to be at such a different level. Not saying they're gonna, wipe out WWE or anything, but I just had higher expectations at this stage.
I think personally, I like the growth because I think at one point they were so caught up in beating WWE. And every time you look at companies that focus on WWEism, that's when they start tilting downhill.
Yeah.
And I think that the wake up call was we're not WWE, we're AEW. Let's stop trying to be little WWE and do what we like, what we do. Let's scale it back enough and focus on these things. I think the growth is good. I like the pacing. I
Okay.
like where they sit.
Hmm.
We're not again, and you can tell it's bothering WWE because they're intentionally putting things up against them. They're trying their damnedest to hurt them in so
Well,
many different ways.
their their ratings are moving up every Wednesday now. Last 2 weeks, they have a niche market because of the style that they produce. Okay.
Exactly.
Like regardless of what anybody says, and I don't say this in a bad way or a malicious way, they're a super indie. They are a super indie, even at this level, which is what I was hoping that they could kind of step away from a little bit more. Like Tony, for Tony, this is fun. You know what I mean? He's not dealing with his money, he's dealing with the family money. And I feel that if he just put some effort into it a bit more that way, this could be so much bigger. Like you want to see better product from WWE if these guys were to take it just a bit more seriously from the financial side, from all the other aspects that they don't put enough attention on. Okay, their focus is 5-star matches, 6-star matches. Is Dave Meltzer going to be happy with this match? Kind of attitude to let's give us something that makes WWE go, oh shit.
I think they are doing that, and not on the grand level, but enough where they're a problem. So we're going to take our shows and counterproduce anything they do. We're putting stuff on. Look at AAA. Their pay per view is going to go almost head to head with them. They're doing it with
NXT.
NXT.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, well, they're no competition, but they're competition.
But I
They're,
find that a lot of what's coming out of the writers' room in AEW and WWE seems to be very similar these days, and I take that from Chance
well,
Michaels, it's hard to argue that because I'm looking at like what Triple H and them are doing. I'm like, well, that's very AEW, isn't it?
that's what I was gonna say. That's not AEW trying to follow them.
No,
It's trying to catch the market. And
yeah,
again, which is funny,
it's not your market.
but but they've been on top so long that they think everything is their market. When you have dominated like WWE has, they feel like everything is their market. That's why they do certain things at certain periods. Just like when they decided they were going to go back over to the UK
Yeah,
and have that,
yeah,
they figured, oh, we can just take over anytime we want.
yeah.
And they did. And what did they do? They killed the damn, they killed the market there.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of, and then it's the way you look at things. We know Vince wouldn't have looked at them as competition. Now, is that good or bad? It just depends on how you look at it and how you approach it.
I
And I
think,
think,
yeah,
no, I was just going to say, and I think because AAA has the book, Triple A, Triple H is more aware of what they bring to the overall scale of wrestling. He's not okay. We got to do this. These certain people could get free. We got to go for them. Just think if they would have got Will Osprey.
ironic you say that. I saw a clip of him earlier this morning before we went on the air, and he was talking about that exactly. He said that, and I'm paraphrasing here, as a kid, all he ever wanted to do was fight in Japan. And he got that opportunity, but WWE was knocking on the door at the same time. Now, the problem with Will Ospreay at that time in his life is he didn't want to travel. He didn't want to do the traveling part of it. He wanted an easy schedule. And Japan would provide that for him because he'd go in for 3 weeks, do his circuit, and then he'd go home for a month. And, that was good for him. He didn't want to, and I don't mean this in a bad way, he didn't want to put the work in, if that's
Right,
fair. Okay.
right. No, that's very fair.
Right. Because I think the loop is a huge part of wrestling. The loop is what's missing in wrestling, in my opinion, in terms of character development, in terms of character work, in terms of working together, getting your cadences down, keeping your body healthy. Because WWE has adopted this kind of WCW, AEW kind of schedule now, whereas you might get one show maybe every month that's a house show, but otherwise you're just showing up to work Mondays and Fridays and the pay-per-views. Why are we seeing so many more injuries now? All this plays into it, man. People have to open their eyes and see the cause and effect. It's kind of like when they took the wolves out of Yellowstone Park. What happened? Bushes started to run rampant. Rabbits were everywhere. All the critters were free range, right? It was like it was like the tech boom. Everyone was willing to buy everyone lunch, and you know, stocks were like a roll of toilet paper, blah blah blah. Right? It's kind of that same kind of philosophy. It's just like without those kind of elements, that's what's missing in wrestling. And that goes for both companies, in my opinion. That loop
Okay.
was huge. That loop is what built the bridge. And McMahon knew that better than anybody. And that was one of the things that you can say he's this, and that. But that was the best part of wrestling were the house shows. Because you always knew what you were going to get on TV, but you
I
got the
think
fun at the house show.
that's very true. But I think, like anything else, it's that change
No, I get it.
that
I get it.
happened. And and one of the bigger things that a lot of people have problems understanding that WWE is not the end all be all for every wrestler.
No,
So,
no, it's not. It's not.
and some wrestlers just are more, it's like, man, I got it the way I want. I make the money I want. I'm away from home just enough. I'm home. I still have my family. I'm still a part of my kids' life in a meaningful way that it means more. And again, I I don't follow anybody for that.
No, not at all. But Bear, I believe that there's only, and I can count them on my hands and my toes, probably, and maybe your hands and toes. We can take those two, the 40 of them. And out of those 40, I think there's maybe 15 to 20 guys and gals out there that can claim that way,
Right. No, I agree with you.
right? Where the rest need AEW or WWE to get that rub that they need to get, what they need, right?
Right.
So that mentality is still very prevalent. All I'm saying, man, I just think that the house shows are huge. They're fun. The stuff that I saw at house shows you don't see on TV,
Oh yeah, because you
right?
get to try out the man. You know how many people got a chance to try out? A lot of people don't realize that when Brock Lesnar first started in WWE, it was him and Shelton Benjamin in a tag team.
Yeah, they were picking it up from OVW.
Exactly. So a lot of wrestlers get that first try on a house show. You get to try out a new gimmick.
Hmm,
You get to
be
see if
funny.
you and that person gel so y'all can be a new tag team or a new faction.
Well, that's it. That's it, right? So, I mean, I think, that's the other thing that's wrong with wrestling, and I don't think people talk about that enough, honestly, and that's across the board. Um, but Professor, I tell you what, man, we had Saturday night's main event as well this past weekend. Um, we'll wrap it up here with this and carry on with the rest of our day. But your thoughts on the show?
Um, if I wouldn't have seen it, it wouldn't have hurt my feelings.
Okay, okay,
The
fair enough.
I would say this, if that was Bailey's last match with WWE, I'm proud of her
Hey, look,
because
yeah,
she did what she was supposed to do. She damn sure got Lyra over.
mm,
Let me pat her on the back and give you your shout outs about Lyra too. You said that Lyra needed a reset, and man, I'm she made me a fan. I like the gimmick. Now,
I really
if
want to give her a bath.
what are they going to do with it going forward?
Well, I think
I
she's
hope
gonna get into it with Sol Ruka. She's gonna be that new crazy lady, Nikki Cross, that but can actually talk.
right.
I think that's kind of what it is. Maybe Becky comes in and ropes her in. Because I look at Bailey and I look at Becky. These are two ladies that have done everything they possibly can in that company. Okay. I don't have a problem with Bailey going over to AEW at all. She'll come back for the Hall of Fame. She'll do her thing. But Bailey's run her course.
Yeah.
She
And
truly has. There's nothing left for her to do. She's a locker room leader. She's a mentor now to the young ladies. You see the stuff that she's doing outside of the ring with trying to get all the girls together to work together to do all these things. So she no sold. She totally sold the back injury at Fanatics, right? If this is goodbye for Bailey, then great. If she is going to stay, then you know what I love for her to do? I love for her and Becky to get together and say, how can you write us off? You're not going to get all four horsewomen, but
yeah,
man, that'd be an intriguing story because I don't know what Becky can do. What's Becky going to come back and do now?
yeah,
Like she's done. Like I don't mean that in a bad way. Just anything you give me of Becky or Bailey right now, it's regurgitated. The only one that's got any space to stand is Charlotte out of the three of them. And even
yeah.
her, I'm wondering, okay, when is that shoe gonna fall? Because didn't she just lose recently again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I think it's
We're at a changing of a guard.
yeah, and I don't mind it. It is good. I like I said with Bailey in particular, I love the way she has just okay, I will put you over. I will put you over. Let's I will help you learn what you need to learn.
She's doing everything
Even,
that
even
an elder statement is supposed to do in the industry.
yeah, exactly. Even Becky, like I told somebody back before Becky won that Intercontinental title, I said she is going to get it and put prestige on the Continental title. They
Absolutely.
need it. And guess what she did? She did that exact thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have a problem if they move Becky over and she does the same for the US title. They need someone to make those damn titles feel relevant and to put shine on them and to help these younger people grow.
Yeah, and maybe that's, I mean, I didn't even think of that aspect of it, but maybe that's where she's gonna go with it right now, right? Like, I mean, as much as I like Tiffany, she's just not doing it for me, man. That she just lost something after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean,
She did.
uh,
She really lost. She lost whatever she had, which makes me think maybe you're not supposed to be a face. You know,
the
like some
yeah, she
characters are
shouldn't have
just
been.
like,
She needs
especially the
better
women
help.
ones with the women wrestlers. Some of them are just, and you know, and like I said, I talked about Maxine earlier. Maybe she is one of those ladies who would just be better off as a bad guy.
Yeah, Tiffany was phenomenal as a heel.
She
She
looks so lost. And poor Chelsea Green. There's another one.
I don't mind Chelsea being a face, but they have to do something with her.
And they
And,
will. They will.
and first thing I would do, this just me, I would get her off of SmackDown. She need a fresh start at
Honestly,
Raw.
look at this girl. And if you don't know Chelsea Green, go back and watch Lucha Underground. Go back to TNA even. I mean, forget it. Just watch her on Lucha, right?
She's amazing.
She's good. And I
Her
feel they're
character,
dropping the ball on her so
her
bad.
character work is phenomenal, and they're just again, they
And her
don't
and Ethan
put
Page were awesome together.
they just don't put the energy in as they do the men.
Well, I mean, I think that goes on both sides of the fence here. If we're looking at all the companies, I think they all do the same thing. You know, I mean, in Japan, if they didn't have Stardom, would
Yeah,
women Japanese wrestlers have the same?
yeah, because hell, I forget that New Japan has a women's championship.
Okay, there you go. Right, I didn't even know if they had one. You know, and
Yeah, they
I'm
got one.
supposed right, and I'm supposed to know this kind of crap. Okay, last thing before we head out of here, Bear. If you look at the current main events for all the kind of shows that we have here, has it occurred to you that we have good guy versus good guy in Punk Roman or Roman Seth? Good guy versus good guy in Punk Cody. Good guy versus good guy in Osprey Omega. And for the fourth one, I'm just throwing it in there because I don't know what could potentially happen. Penta versus Chad Gable, good guy versus good guy.
I think
Are we missing bad guys here? What the fuck, man?
yes, yes. I've said it once. I say it again. You don't have enough credible heels to challenge for the championship when you have
Maybe that's
faces.
why they brought Baron back because he's a
Could be,
natural heel.
could be,
You
and
look at
then
the roster right now. Honestly, in WWE, outside of Gunther, in my opinion, there's no real bad guy in WWE.
Sammy is about there.
Sammy's still Sammy though, right? Like you change your music then. You got to change the music of Sammy then. You can't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
everyone coming on saying, oh, like you don't need that. You're trying to build them up. Like, how can you say Seth is the bad guy when everyone keeps singing his fucking song?
Um,
You got to
well,
change it.
he's a tweener, and
You know why I blame for all this? Stone Cold.
I,
Let's be honest.
I get,
Stone
I
Cold
agree.
Stone
I,
Cold changed the game in such a way where it made it impossible to be a bad guy and a good guy anymore.
yeah.
And to get real heat, you look at Gunther, and Gunther's that one guy who gets real heat.
Oh yeah.
There's no one right now that gets that kind of heat in any company.
Well, I would say MJF
But even
when,
then, they
but
love him.
yeah, but he gets that heat. He can get heat even being loved. And that's a Piper. That's that old school amount of I control you when I want to control you. But with that being said, like you said with Gunther, I definitely expect either Cody or Punk is gonna turn.
I
One of
have
the
a
two.
feeling. Let's talk about that really quickly. I know we're keeping everyone here, and I know you all want to keep us talking, but we're going to talk a little bit more because we love you guys. All right. When I look at what happened on SmackDown very quickly, Punk turns around and hits him with the belt. I hope it's Cody who becomes the heel because he was a whiny little kid. Like they made a specific segment just behind the curtain for Cody to complain. Why did you hit me with the bill? Like, come on, man. I want Cody to go heel. I need a Cody heel turn.
I I needed Cody to be a heel shit 5 years ago.
But do you turn
And
Punk though? Because I mean, he's got all the headlines of not taking pictures, getting mad at people in hotel lobbies, and this and that.
that's what I said. And I heard
Maybe the
an,
real Punk comes out.
I was watching another show
How dare
and
you?
they made a point. Hey, I look, I watch other podcasts. I definitely do.
No, no, I'm just bugging you, Barry. I'm just being jealous.
um, they made a great point of if Punk go if he's gonna do it, go heel. This is the time they need to do it because he doesn't have a lot more time left in him.
No, no.
And and as like you, I want to see Cody turn heel, but I would rather see Punk do it to get it over with.
You know what I also think though, Bear? I feel because of what we see in wrestling and how everyone reacts to stuff, okay? If Punk turns heel, they're still gonna hate on Cody even more because that wasn't the guy they wanted to go heel.
And I think that may end up playing, as crazy as it's going to sound, it's going to play in his favor because every time people want something, you can't give it to them right away.
The only
If you,
person, in my opinion, sorry, Bear, the only person that I feel that was under like how long were we clamoring for Cena to turn heel? Like when he was still full time.
yeah,
Right? But they never did it because they knew the economics of it would not make any sense. Okay. We're talking make a wish. We're talking the amount of merch that man pushed.
yeah,
All right. Prime example of that, Cena wasn't even on the card at SummerSlam in Vegas. Chance was there because he was there for the Pacquiao fight, and he walked into the stadium at down there in Vegas to see some of the SummerSlam in there. 40% of that crowd were in green shirts.
well, Cena is, but Cena is that exception though. He's on the level of Stone Cold.
Okay,
Also,
okay.
I mean, Hogan.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter what happens, he's got his name. Everything's going to be there.
No,
So,
100%. But you just
so
answered the question right there, right? Like, I mean, straight up,
yeah.
there's no excuse for anyone else to turn heel then.
Well, I think
Cody's
you got
merch numbers aren't that great.
you cannot have a continuous stories with good guys. You can do it right. You can get away with it once, maybe twice, but you cannot continuously make good stories if you don't have a villain to do a
Right.
yin. No matter what, you got to have yin and yang.
Well,
You
I'm
got
looking at it this way. I think we're going to get a double turn, well, a one-way turn with one of those guys at SummerSlam. I think that's where it's going to happen. When I look at Mox, or when I look at Osprey and Omega, I just don't see Omega being a bad guy anymore, man. It just
I,
doesn't work.
I
But Osprey being with the Death Riders, that potentially could be the turn.
I don't think he's going to turn. I think it's going to be the Bret Hart Bulldog thing. Like I said, there are times you can actually get away with a face versus face.
Well, in this case, you might be able to because of where it's
Yes,
being
and
held.
I
Yes.
think so. I really think so. Now later on, he might change, but at at that stadium for this particular show, to me, it wouldn't make any sense. It would blow everything you worked for to build to this, to build to this. They've been doing this for 2 years to build to crown him in Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
Why in the world would you make him a heel there?
Because it's wrestling and that's the unexpected. That's why we watch, right?
Yes,
Everything you just said, everything I just said, we kind of already see it happening that way.
right.
It would be more entertaining and more, oh my goodness, if he did that at home.
Yes, it would be.
That's
And
the
like
way I'm looking at it.
and your point, because we wouldn't see it coming.
Exactly. And I think that's what's missing in wrestling. We kind of have this preconceived notions, oh, it's gonna happen this way because of where it's at. Well, it doesn't
Yep.
have to. Let's not be afraid to mix it up. Okay.
Exactly.
Everyone in that stadium should know what they're watching by that point.
I think that's where a lot of people are a little irritated with the title changes this year because
I think they're
some of
grasping at everything they possibly can, man. They don't know what they're doing themselves.
and I think that's what's ticked people off. It's like, oh wow, they done had too many title changes. Wow, the champion should retain. Well, then when you do loan title range, you're pissed saying, hey, we need different champions. You
Yeah.
you can't have it both ways.
No, no. Well, I tell you what, brother man, I think the best way to end this is damned if we do and damned if we don't. Life is a
But
catch 22.
but hey, the constant is Mama T and those beautiful singing voices will sing us out.
Absolutely. They're piped. They're ready to go. They were at the World Cup. No one saw their performance, but they were there. They were there at the halftime show too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Bobby Sampson, joined as always my partner in crime, my brother from another sack, but I always have his back.
I am the professor, Burr, and we are Professor and the Samp. And
Yes, sir.
thank you so much for joining us again.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, as I always say, follow your dreams, follow your aspirations, believe in yourself, and most importantly, don't listen to the people that are trying to hold you down because, very simply put, they're afraid to do anything themselves or they're afraid to see you become successful. Professor and the Samp are out. See you next week.